March 16th, today, marks 22 years to the day of the diabolical attack on the Kurdish city of Halabja in Iraq, using a cocktail of deadly chemical gases ordered by the president of the country at the time, Saddam Hussein. Halabja marks the greatest chemical assault on a civilian area of all time, but it is not the only one. It joins some 24 other villages occupied by Kurdish residents that were also victims of chemical attacks, exacting a heavy toll of some 30,000 people killed and umpteen others seriously afflicted. The aftermath of this attack continues to affect the region as it has for many, many years. Many people still today suffer some serious health problems as a result of the contamination in that area. We must remember Halabja, its history, its victims, its survivors. We must remember in order to vigorously oppose tyrannical oppression and to stop the use of weapons of mass destruction. As soon as the frightening film footage became available to the world years after the event, the Museum of Tolerance immediately included it in our permanent exhibit, The Millennium Machine, that addresses global human rights issues. It was not surprising when prominent Los Angeles attorneys Laura and George Brownstein joined a mission to Iraq to form fact-finding and were so moved and disturbed by what they saw that they turned to the Museum of Tolerance to help continue to raise awareness about this tragedy. From our first meeting with the Brownsteins, Steve and Mike, with the representatives of the Kurdistan regional government, Rabbi Cooper and I unhesitatingly agreed to immediately accept their invitation to visit the region. Our experience there was truly extraordinary and unforgettable. We met the people. We listened to their powerful stories. We stood in somber silence and deep sadness at the sight of mass graves. We heard the haunting, agonizing echoes in the torture chambers where so many suffered. And we reaffirmed our proposal to create an educational, informative exhibit that could reach as many people as possible, to continue to educate and to inform us. The small exhibit that we are proud to host at the Museum of Tolerance for the next few weeks encapsulates the essence of the message we want to promote. It was created exactly a year ago for a most historic event at the United Nations, March 16th, 1 year ago. Historic in two senses. It was the first time that a world body had formally acknowledged and commemorated the gassing of Kurds in Halabja, and it brought together an unusual partnership. For on the dais were the Iraqi mission to the United Nations, the leadership of the Kurdistan regional government, former United States ambassador to the region, and Simon Wiesenthal Center, Museum of Tolerance. That partnership is still strong. The exhibit needs to be updated with further developments that have occurred during that time, and we will hear more about that now, as it is my honor to introduce Najat Abdallah, as I've mentioned, Director for Arts and Culture for the Kurdistan Regional Government.